there was an intruder right at the bottom of my bed. Hi, and welcome to an extra midweek video. And that's because today's a subscriber recommended video. Oh, I can't control my hands. What's wrong with us? I don't know. There's lots wrong with us. Yeah, so Lucinda got in touch on Instagram and asked me to try the Foil Art Creative Foiling Set, which is a transfer foil, and I've got it! I bought it. You ask, you shall receive. And I'm just gonna have a play around with it. I've never really used transfer foil. If you're not watching Lucinda, by the way, which I think a lot of my audience already is, because Lucinda recommends a lot of you guys to my channel. But if you've never watched their videos, I'll leave a link up above and I'll leave a link down below as well to create loads of different resin tumblers, which look absolutely fantastic. And she uses an absolute bunch of these foils, lots of different kinds. I've been watching a couple of her videos, so I feel like I know what these are supposed to do. Doesn't mean I'm going to follow the instructions and do it right, but I'm going to try, and I think I know what this is about. So let's get into it and see if I can make some decent things, I suppose. That'll be interesting. I'm already very attracted because they're so shiny. I'm like a magpie. So I just bought my little kit on Amazon. I had a quick look yesterday to see which one I had bought, and apparently they're out of stock at the moment, so I bought the last one. So if you want one of these, it's tough luck, I've got it. But by the time this video comes out, they might have restocked this and you might be able to get your hands on some foil art. I think it's just called foil art. That's what it is, that's what you're looking for. It also says on this box, write it, rub it, and you have foiled it. It's that easy. And it sounds a bit dirty, like rubbing it. Naughty. Alright, let's open this up, see what it's like. Okay, so we have... What's this? Oh, just a bit of carbon paper. I don't know what you do with carbon paper, but it's got some carbon paper in there. I assume this is instructions. And a little cheat sheet. Fab. Love a cheat sheet. Oh, I don't want to read all that. I'll come back to the instructions. So we've got ourselves a little glue pen in here. And then obviously the foils. Oh. Oopsies. You've got all these colours in, and you've got a couple of different, like, textured ones as well. And then on the back of the box as well, it's given us loads of, like, inspiration and stuff I can do with these foils. And it seems like a lot of it is for card making. Well, it's basically all card making. But I know Lucinda uses a lot of this stuff for her tumblers. I'm going to try a little bit on paper, just so I know what I'm doing first, and then we'll move on to something else. I think I know what I'm doing, but I'm just going to have a quick read of these instructions, just in case. Ah, are you absolutely shitting us? It says on here that I have to apply the glue and then I have to leave it for 10 to 15 minutes before I can do anything with it. Why is there so much waiting around for things? I want instant results. That's what I want.
Well, what you want to do is not necessarily what you're gonna do.
Yeah, so you have to wait for the glue to dry because then it gets tacky and it's not wet. That's the whole point. And apparently you can leave this glue for days and it'll still remain tacky, which means you can apply your foil the next day if necessary. Isn't this great? Yes, it is. It's lovely. Alright, well, I'll put the glue on because otherwise I'm going to be here all day. I've got another video to record today as well, so I want to get stuff done. Always shake. I hit myself in the face. Always shake. So I'm going to write my name and we're going to make my name in a foil design. Hold pen upright and squeeze the bubble. So it's got like a little bubbly thing on the pen. You squeeze that and that'll make the glue come out. And apparently this glue's going to be blue, so not to worry. I thought I'd spelt my name wrong there, I haven't. Okay, so I've got my name, and now we leave that to dry for 10 to 15 minutes. Well, I'll put that to one side. Now what do I do? That wasn't very fun. You know what, I'll glue something else. It makes sense to glue something else while I'm waiting. I'm just wondering though, can you use other glue? Or does it have to be this glue pen? The problem is I've only got PVA glue, and I don't know whether PVA glue will work with this. I should have really bought a second bit of glue. I didn't think this far ahead, did I? But I do have a little plant pot, and I thought it would be interesting to do something with this. So I might try and draw some sort of design onto here. Problem is this glue, you don't get a lot of it in here. I might try and draw like a little face on this plant pot, see what happens. At the end of the day, Lucinda uses this stuff on tumblers, so it should be fine on little plant pots. I was thinking about creating a tumbler like what Lucinda does, but honestly there's so much waiting around and stuff and drying times, and it must take forever just to make one of them little tumblers. I don't know how Lucinda has the patience. I don't. But to be fair, I think any person in the world has more patience than I do. This is going to be a very, very basic face. And by the way, I think you can buy proper pots of this glue stuff online and elsewhere. It's just just, for some reason, well, I didn't really think ahead, did I? Like, a lot of my videos, I just sit down and I don't, not that there's not a lot of planning involved. There's planning involved in my videos, but they're very kind of spontaneous and, like, I don't really do research. And people might get frustrated by that.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
The only reason I don't do research is so I can have very immediate reactions on things. Because if I knew what I was getting into and I knew what was happening, well, it's just not as fun, is it? I say fun, it drives us mad at times. Right, so I've got a little face on that pot. You might not be able to see it very well. I told you it was going to be very basic. And I'll try and foil that, but I think I need to wait now. Guess I'll sit here and play on my phone for 10 to 15 minutes. Oh, one thing I did want to talk about while we're waiting for glue to dry. It happened to us earlier in the week, and it's probably happened to other people in the past, but like, it kind of freaked me out a bit. And anyway, I was in bed, asleep, as you do, fast asleep like a baby, and I was having a nightmare, and I kind of still remember this nightmare, but some bits are a bit hazy. So either in this nightmare, I thought there were intruders in the home, and that there was an intruder right at the bottom of my bed, or I was having a nightmare about a ghost, and I thought there was a little girl ghost at the bottom of my bed. I can't remember which one it was. It was one of the two. And I must have been like tossing and turning and like freaking out and everything. And keep in mind, I wear a mouth guard during the night because I clench my jaw. And I'll show you what happened. So I sprung out of bed in the middle of the night and did this. I'll go get my mouth guard just so I can reenact what happened. That's what happened. I woke up during the night and proper shit my kegs because I thought there was actually someone at the bottom of my bed. I'm gonna put this down, it's gross. I thought there was someone at the bottom of my bed to the point where I reached over and got my phone, put the flashlight on and had a look around. I think I was kind of like half asleep still, but very conscious and awake at the same time. And then I eventually went back to bed and went to sleep and woke up the next day and I was absolutely knackered. I was shattered. And I must have just had the weirdest sleep ever. When I woke up in the morning, like my blanket was all over the place, my pillows were all over the place. I must have just had an incredibly restless sleep. I really wish I'd set up a camera and saw the moment that happened because I must have looked crazy. And the fear and the terror that was inside at that moment, I can still feel it now. I was really, really genuinely terrified because I thought someone was in my room at the bottom of my bed. There wasn't, by the way, there was no one there. But it just really freaked us out and I was tired all day. I was really, really exhausted. But I don't know whether anyone else has had kind of like a nightmare or a dream where it's woke you up during your sleep. I don't want it to happen again. I think it's happened to us one time before, but this time was a big one. And that reaction that I just recreated, it was probably even worse than that. Full on, like, I wanted to scream at them. You know when you want to scream, but you can't get your scream out? It was like that. I was genuinely trying to like scream at the top of my lungs at this person that was at the bottom of my bed, but like nothing would come out. It was really weird. Really, 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 really frightening. But I needed to get that off my chest and tell some people because it freaked us out. But yeah, let me know down in the comments if that's ever happened to you and how scared you were over it as well. It's like when people have them nightmares when there's someone pinning them down to the bed. There's like a proper thing. I was watching like a documentary or a TV show on it, and I think people have died in their sleep from it before, where they've been pinned to the bed by this like demon, but it's not actually a demon, and they've had like a heart attack during the night. I'm pretty sure that's a real thing. I don't think I've made that up. I'm very conscious and very aware when I go to sleep now. I love bedtime, and now I'm just a bit skeptical of going to sleep.
I can still hear that voice.
Okay, so I think that glue's finally dried. So it's gone from blue to clear, and I think that's what I'm aiming for. So it says I need to apply the foil shiny side up. Oh, where's the end? Which way do I stick it down? So it would have to be that way, yes? It has to be that way, really, doesn't it? And for this design, for my name, I thought I would use all of the colours all at once, just to see what it's gonna look like. It's incredibly thin and fragile, this foil stuff, isn't it? Probably gonna want half of that. Stick that down like that. And I know Lucinda has like a fancy squeegee brush thing when she puts foil on, but I don't, so I'm just gonna use my hands. That should be stuck down enough. Right, we'll do all the other colours now. Okay, I didn't get to use all the colours because I cut my strips far too big, so I'm missing them 3, but that's fine. Now, do I just peel it up to get this off? I'm pretty sure I do. Rip foil away quickly, almost like removing a plaster. Right, okay then, so it has to be quick. Start on this side, actually. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, are you kidding me? Oh, you won't be able to see that yet. That's well sexy. Oh, that's so nice. Let's see what all the others look like. Look how cool that is. Look how shiny it is. Look, how fancy is that? You won't be able to see it properly on camera. It looks way better in person, but it's so colourful. Oh, you can do some amazing stuff with this. That was so easy. That was really, really easy. Let me have a look at my little plant pot. Is that done? I can totally see why people use this foil stuff. Obviously, I've never used it before, so I wasn't really, I didn't really know what to expect, but it's just kind of magic, isn't it? Stick some colours onto this one. Well, I'll do a pink mouth. And we'll do a green nose, why not? Right, let's see if this has worked. Oh, it definitely has. Oh, that one didn't work as well. Oh dear. Oh, this one's gone a little bit patchy, but it still looks so cool. Look at my little shiny plant pot. There's a few little gaps there where I would obviously have to go over with some glue, but like still, I think you'd be proud with that, Lucinda. Look at my little face. Look what I've done. It's so shiny as well. It's almost like liquid metal, isn't it? Ah, I'm well into this. I like it. I think people who are really into card making would absolutely love this stuff. They probably already use it though, don't they? But if you haven't used it and you're a card maker, you would just go crazy for something like this. It'll really take your cards up to the next level. But you can also branch out and start doing plant pots if you want. It's a little idea for you. You can have it too, you can steal it, I don't mind. But that just about does it for me testing out some little shiny foil things. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And let me know if you've got any inspiration for what I can do with these. Because although I absolutely love the effects and I think it's amazing, I don't really know what else I can do. I suppose you could do anything, couldn't you? Can you put this on your face? If I can put this on my face, I'll do a full face of foils. I don't know whether the glue's safe for face, but you could use that wig glue on your face, can't you? I could so do a face of foils. And I'll see you on Friday for a brand new video. The Friday video, it's something I've never done before and I'm a little bit concerned. So it might be a video that doesn't end well, but we'll see, we'll see. I'm trying to stay optimistic, but you know what I'm like, it never lasts. So I'll see you then and hopefully it'll pan out. I don't think it's going to. In fact, I know it's not going to, but I'm forever the optimist, you know? I like to send positive vibes out into the world. Not that they ever send me any. And the power's gone off. Great. That's what you get for being positive. The power's literally just gone off. I timed that well though, didn't I? Just as I ended the video. Ah well, it's definitely cute to go away, so I'll see you on Friday.